Hi, if this is your first time here, welcome. Else, welcome back. I'm Victor Akinwande, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how you can successfully bring your product to the market. So, I want to believe that being an entrepreneur is not an easy thing, and at the same time, even despite the fact that this video is not meant for an entrepreneur alone, but I want to believe that it's an entrepreneur that carries the larger part of the work because everything still centers on you. Bringing your product to market has to do with you converting your idea into a marketable or a sellable product because it involves a lot of processes, and at the same time, when I talk about processes, I mean ranging from brainstorming, ideation, down to networking, down to even marketing, building networks with people, and a number of things like that, including seeking investors. As an entrepreneur, a product marketer, a project manager, or a product manager, in as much you are contributing in one way or the other to the success of a particular product, there are two things you need to think about. And one thing is that your consumers or your target audience will not buy your invention, they will not buy your idea. It is your product they want to buy. So definitely you need to tailor your products to their taste. Second one is that how to bring your product to market, the strategy to use, the skills to use, and every other things you need for it to bring your product to market depends on you. So there is no exact guide to it that these are the steps by steps instructions or the steps by steps guide you need to follow. So it all depends on you, but you just need to capture some details of which these are the things I'm going to be sharing with you in this video. So let's go right into it. Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Victor Akinwande, a techpreneur and a growth strategist. I am also a scholar who is intentional and passionate about helping young minds achieve their dreams. Please subscribe to my channel, like, comment, and share my videos. It promises to be impactful and inspiring. Thank you. Now, talking about bringing your product to market, as I said earlier, there is no exact guide for it, but I am going just to be sharing with you tips that can actually help you. And one of the things you need to take note of is that you need to evaluate your idea. So you need to know how valid your idea is. And for you to know how valid your idea is, there are two things you need to ensure. And one is that you need to know whether the idea or the product you are creating is really meeting a need, and the second one whether it is solving a problem. So if it is solving a problem and it is not meeting a need, then it is a problem on its own. So you need to be very sure of that, that one, the problem you're trying to solve or the idea you're working on rather is solving the problem. Two, it is meeting a need. So you need to be very sure of these two things before you proceed forward. The second one is you need to develop a prototype or an MVP. A prototype would help you to attract potential investors because a prototype can actually be in form of a detailed information or maybe a detailed drawing or a rough sketch that you've actually done. This prototype can actually help you to attract funds from their pocket. So you need to develop a prototype, you need to have an MVP because MVP at the same time can actually help you get feedbacks from users. Even despite the fact that you've not created the product in a concrete way or you've not created it to be something that people or users can use at that point in time, but you can actually generate a survey at this point, try to know what people's reaction would be towards your idea or what their reactions are at that particular point in time towards the idea you're trying to work on. So this is very essential. Try as much as you can to create prototype or to create MVP for your product. The third one is you need to check for patents and government policies. Checking for patents would help you not to work on the idea somebody else has actually worked on and he or she has protected. So, because if you are working on that particular idea or you are doing something similar or perhaps you are copying and you don't know you are copying the person, you might be sued and at the same time you might pay heavily for it. So try as much as possible to check whether the idea you're working on or what you're trying to do or maybe your business model or something has not been patented, I mean, has not been protected or trademarked by somebody else or by another organization. Also, check for government policies to know whether what you are working on in one way or the other is not violating any of the government policies. So, try as much as you can to check for government policies, check for intellectual property rights. And if you've actually checked whether something has been trademarked and you realize that it has not been trademarked, why not trademarking it yourself or why not protecting it at that point in time so that people that are coming behind you won't be able to copy you. So by the time they copy you, then you can sue them too. The fourth one is you need to find the right market for yourself. As I always say, everyone cannot buy from you and everyone cannot be your customer. Anyone as well cannot be your customer. So you need to narrow down, niche down, find a kind of market that you can serve properly and work on them, because one of the things this would help you to do is that it will help you to do proper market research, and it will help you to know how to communicate directly and properly to them. So try as much as you can to find a right market for the idea you're working on or for the product you are trying to build, because it would help you in bringing your product successfully to the market. The fifth one is you need to know your cost. Know the cost of production, know the cost of transportation, know every cost around what you're working on. Try as much as you can to know the cost, because if you can actually know what it costs you to produce a unit of your product, let's assume you're working on a physical product, so you'll be able to know how to sell it, the amount to sell it, and you will be able to know whether it is even something you can actually sell to your target audience or not. So try as much as you can to know your cost. And for you to do that, you need to get somebody who has a technical knowledge or who has a technical know-how on what you are working on. You might have the idea, you might be the one that conceived the idea, and at that point in time, you don't have the technical knowledge of how the whole thing can be produced or how it could be done. So try as much as you can to get somebody who is more knowledgeable in the manufacturing part or in the creation of the product part to help you to get the cost it involves or the cost it entails in producing your product or in converting your idea into a product that your users would use. So please try to know your cost. The sixth one is you need to revise, revise, and revise. Revise your model, revise your plans, revise your strategy, revise every necessary thing you've done before you start into the real creation of the product. So try as much as you can to revise. While revising, you might actually get to see some constraints, or you might get to see some mistakes you've made in past times, and you'll be able to correct it at that point in time. The seventh one, try to create the product. Enough of planning, enough of plans. I know you've created enough plans, but try as much as you can to work on your plans. Create the product. You've gotten to know the cost, you've known the strategy, you've known the model, you've known your audience, you've known a number of things regarding the product or the idea you're working on. So try as much as you can to create it at this point. Bring it out to the market and let people make use of it. So create the product at that point in time. So don't just plan alone, create the product, because as I said earlier, your users might actually take a particular form, a particular survey, maybe in form of an MVP or something, because I can actually categorize that to be an MVP because you are trying to get feedback or you are trying to get their reaction towards what you are creating. So, and maybe talking about the investors too, they might not want to invest in it because they might not see the realism, or they might not see how real the idea is yet. But at this point in time, if you can actually take your time to create, so all of these things would be able to come through, investors would come in, and your users at the same time will be able to make use of the product and at the same time give you feedback about it. And while creating your product, try as much as you can to create a marketing strategy or a marketing material for it too. Try to know what works for you. If it is a marketing campaign like Coca-Cola, try to know that. If it is working on your product and investing more on your product heavily and trying to get word of mouth marketing like Google, try to know what works for you. So if you can know what works for you, it will help in your marketing. So don't just invest in anything or throw money anyhow with the mind that you are investing, or with the mind that you are spending money in marketing while you are not doing the right thing. So try as much as you can to do that too. So the next one is network with other entrepreneurs or strike partnership with businesses. So as I said, you cannot do it alone. Let's assume you are a company that is trying to create an e-commerce space, or let me say you are creating an e-commerce store. So you may not be able to be the one to create the market or maybe create the marketplace, and at the same time you still want to create the financial system they are going to use to pay. Why not make use of Flutterwave, Paystack, Stripe, and any other payment gateway or payment company that can actually help you to handle your finances instead of trying to create the system yourself? So strike partnership. Partnership will help you mitigate against a lot of risk, and it will help you to have enough time to do more wonderful things. try to strike partnerships. It helps. So the next one is you need to be realistic and reasonable while creating your plans, while creating the product, while doing anything regarding bringing your product to market. I know you want the whole process to be successful, but try as much as you can to be realistic and reasonable, and at the same time try to be patient for you to have a kind of accurate result or to have an accurate calculation. Because if you are not patient enough, thinking you really want to launch so fast, you've had a beautiful idea, you've had a wonderful idea, and you just want to launch, and launch, you might have made a lot of mistakes, or there might have been an oversight that can actually cost you a lot in the future. So try as much as you can to be realistic, be reasonable, be thorough, and at the same time be patient, so that you can actually have something accurate and you can have your desired results coming out the way you want it to be. So the last one on my list here is you need to evolve, you need to grow, and you need to scale. So because if you are coming into the market without having this mind, your product might not be successful. The whole thing you're doing, the processes you've gone through in past times might just be wasteful, and it might not produce the desired result you think you're gonna have. So try as much as you can to evolve, grow, and scale. The reason why I'm actually saying this is that your users' needs are evolving. What they needed last week has actually upgraded. What they used last week has upgraded, and at the same time there are a lot of competitors in the market. So have this mindset of evolution, the mindset to grow, and the mindset to scale. So thank you so much for seeing this video to the end. I'm Victor Akionde, as I said earlier, and I said that I always create content regarding product marketing, product development, even lifestyle growth strategies and all. So thank you so much, thank you so much, thank you so much. Try as much as you can to subscribe to my channel, like my video, comment, share with your colleagues, share with other entrepreneurs that you know, because I believe that they will all find this impactful and insightful as you've done. Thank you so much. Peace out.